listen, I'm 20 years old, no bills, no rent, no expenses, no family, right?
Mm-hmm.
Totally different ball game than a lot of these people who have a family that they're trying to take care of and they're trying to transition. That's tough.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Zero to Diamond podcast. I'm your host, Ricky Caruth. I'm on a mission to help reduce the failure rate in the real estate industry by helping you master your skills on the phone, conquer your fears, and changing your mindset. Now, let's get into the show.
All right, let's get this podcast going. So I would like to introduce Ricky, a little bit about Ricky. So he's a single agent that's selling 100 deals a year, year after year after year, going for a decade of doing that. He became the #1 RE/MAX agent in Alabama. In 2017, he wrote 2 books. Sweet Jesus, 2 books, Ricky?
Oh,
Goodness gracious. And now he's one of the top coaches and speakers in the industry as the founder of Zero to Diamond, the fastest growing real estate agent coaching program in the world. So I'd like to welcome Ricky Caruth. Thank you so much for joining us today. How you doing, Ricky? How you doing, Ricky?
Good. How you guys doing?
Fantastic.
Yeah. Good to be here. Yeah, I wrote this 2 books. The reason it was 2 in a year is because I wrote the first one, and when I got done, I was like, man, I forgot all the stuff I wanted to put in that book. So I literally wrote the second one before the guy was through editing the first one. And
nice.
I traded them like book for book, edited one for here, go edit this one now too. And that's why there's 2 books, is because it was like there was so much stuff in here I had to get out, and that's why I haven't wrote a third one yet since then, it's because I just
let it all out.
Got it all out there in those 2 books. And I am going to do a third one, but I'm pretty far away from doing it. I'm working on so many different other things right now, but yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah. And I would say I read Zero to Diamond twice. It's a very easy read. Like, it's just something to take in really quickly. I loved it. It was just impactful information, just giving it to you straight, which I really love about your philosophy. And actually, I that's one of the things I wanted to get to. If you could share with us just your journey from employee to entrepreneur, and then the mission that you're on today, which is kind of coincides with our mission to reduce the failure rate among all real estate agents.
Well, I mean, from, as far as a transition, I don't feel like there ever really was a transition, I mean, I did have some W-2 jobs for a while, but I mean, I was always an entrepreneur. Like I was always trying to figure out how to go to the next level. I mean, that's the spirit of entrepreneur is trying to figure out how to go to the next level, regardless of where you are. Too many people are worried about what other people are doing. And what I'm saying is let's focus on what we got and just build on what we have every day. And that's really the basis, I think, of an entrepreneur. I think a lot of the people who, kind of stick to that W-2 job, man, there's a lot of happy people out there who work W-2 jobs. I mean, when I worked on the oil rig, there were guys out there that have been out there for like 30, 40 years, and like they were happy as can be. They'd made a lot of money. They'd worked really hard and, had to live on a rig half their life, but that was what they wanted to do. And they had their nest egg in place, and they were set up to retire, and they were happy, and they had a couple million sitting there, and they were good to go. So there's a lot of happy people out there that get content. So that's where you got to really try to figure this thing out. You got to find that balance between ambition and happiness, because a lot of us are too ambitious for our own good. And how long and grueling the process is from nothing to something is a long process. And a lot of people, are so ambitious that if they don't get there within a month or 2, they become very depressed, and then they're just in this state of depression. You got to find that balance between your ambition and what actually makes you happy. Like I knock off at 5 o'clock every day now. I haven't always done that. I mean, for 15 years, I worked till midnight every night. But now that I'm where I'm at, and I can literally, like, once you get to a place where a very little effort keeps so much momentum going in your businesses, you can really take a step back and say, okay, now what's really important here? Like, and, knocking off at 5 and hanging out with the family and on the weekends and all that stuff, and going on the vacations we're going to go on and stuff like that. Meanwhile, my businesses are continuing to explode. Like I could work till midnight now and probably double what I'm doing. But listen, I mean, at some point you got to enjoy what you're doing, So no, it's going from W-2 to entrepreneur. I didn't really ever feel that transition. I mean, I was always trying to, like I was using the W-2 job. I was using the W-2 jobs to develop my skills to be a great entrepreneur. Like I cooked in a restaurant. I was the head grill cook, and I literally was working on my mind skills of taking an order and being able to cook like several things at once, smoke rising in my face, putting it all together. Like that's a skill, right? That's a skill set. I eventually started serving tables. Now I'm talking to people. Now, when the people come in, now I'm giving them customer service, and I'm learning how to talk to people, make them feel comfortable, have conversations with people I don't know, and serve them, right? Service what they want, like I was roofing houses and serving tables at night at one point during my life. And it was, I can't even remember what point that was, if it was right before I got in real estate or if it was, I think it was, I know I was, let's see. No, I was doing it when I'd lost everything. I was roofing houses before I went on the oil rig. I was roofing and I was working at a restaurant. And so like I couldn't work at the restaurant like 5 nights a week like they wanted me to, because I was roofing houses. So I was like, I'm gonna take 3 nights a week. So I would work it out to where I would leave the roof at 4 o'clock on those days and go into the restaurant and work till like midnight or something on those nights. I literally worked 3 nights a week where everybody else was working like doubles and like 5 nights a week and all this stuff. And at the end of the year, I had sold more food than anyone else in the whole. I was the top selling server. I didn't even realize this. I wasn't trying to hit this. It's just what happened. Like they gave me a t-shirt, which was kind of BS. But like they told me that I'd sold more, food than anyone else, all summer long. And I'm thinking that's crazy. Like people are working doubles and like 5 nights a week and all kinds of stuff. And I'm just working 3 nights a week and I outsold everybody. It didn't make any sense to me at all. But like that's the kind of like like everything I do, I want to be the best. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
And so I think that's just the spirit of just being an entrepreneur. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Now,
And then
what was your transition from employee? What was that entrepreneurial gig? What was that first transit? Did you save money up and make the jump, or did you start doing real estate part-time? Like, how did that transition start?
So like, the first time around, when I got my real estate license, I told Dad, I was like, peace, dude. I'm like retired from roofing. I'm going to be a real estate agent now. So I go in the office for 30 days straight, full time. Like as soon as I got my license, I went full-time real estate agent, like right then, knowing nothing. You know what I mean? So like 30 days, I'm in the office, like 8 hours a day, like grinding it out, sold nothing. And then like 30 days later, I was like, Dad, I'm back. So I went back and I'm roofing. Now I'm roofing and doing real estate on the side. So it eventually took me 8 months to get to that first sale. So, I mean, like I was living check to check, like I'm making $300 a week roofing houses with my father. I mean, I can barely eat, you know what I'm saying? It's not like I saved a bunch of money or anything. I literally had to wait until I closed enough properties, to be able to take that money and quit the 9-to-5 job and do real estate full time. So that 8th month, I still have the check stubs. I found them the other day. Like I have all the check stubs from my first sale. My first sale was my grandmother's condo, and I closed on this other condo the same day. And so I had those 2 sales, and then I had like 2 more pending deals or 2 listings or something. And I was like, okay, I feel the momentum here. I feel like I'm going to go for it this time. Of course, listen, I'm 20 years old, no bills, no rent, no expenses, no family, right? Totally different ballgame than a lot of these people who have a family that they're trying to take care of and they're trying to transition. That's tough. Yeah. I mean, I couldn't imagine going through that with a family, or even going through what I went through from 2005 to 2008, where I lost everything and went back and scrambled around. I couldn't imagine having a family during that time and kind of the stress and everything that would have put me through. It's just crazy how the whole thing kind of came together. But now the first time I was roofing, kind of hit that. Then the second time, get this, the second time I was on the oil rig and I worked there for a year, 52 weeks, 1 week on, 1 week off. So it was 26 weeks. Worked there for a complete 12-month period, got laid off, right? That was the year that Obama got elected. And, there was a lot of things that happened in the gas and oil industry. Gas prices, I think, were coming down a lot, and a lot of companies quit drilling And a lot of people got laid off during that time in the oil industry. And so they held on to me, dude. There was 52 people that had my position across, like, I don't know how many rigs, like 8 rigs or something. There were 52 people who had my position, which was a roughneck is what we were called. Like, we were like the very bottom of the totem pole. We did all the grimiest stuff and all the most dangerous activities. And out of the 52 people, I was the last guy out of the 52 people. They held on to me as long as they could because I was out there grinding, like they were getting rid of the lazy people. And like, it got to where drillers were the only people on rigs. They were doing the roughneck work and everything. That's how an oil company retracts. Like they'll get rid of the low guys and have drillers, they'll demote them to lower positions. And then, when they expand, they have the drillers where they can just hire more people to work for the drillers. But yeah, I got laid off, and during that time, and that was 2008. So like 2007, I look back at this guy. He sold 30 properties in 2006, and I was like, holy smokes, because I didn't sell anything from 2005 to 2008. And I was like, how did this dude sell 30 properties in 2006? One of the worst years we've ever had. I was like, this is crazy. This dude made a couple $100,000, and I'm on a rig. So this dude was a good friend of mine. So I went to his house and he told me everything he was doing and everything. So I started kind of implementing what he was saying, which was nothing different than what I did in the beginning of my career. It was like letters, emails, phone calls, postcards. It was the same stuff. It was just like a different message. It was just like, hey guys, like everything's half price. Who wants one kind of deal? The sand looks the same. The sun is still as bright. You know what I mean? Like everything's the same as it was. It's just 50% of the price that it was before. And so I got on that train, and luckily enough, guys, I had some momentum with some deals happening before I got laid off. Whereas once I got laid off, I had a few things under contract that closed within like 30 or 60 days after I got laid off, which was like crazy. So I had 2 big deals. It was like a total of like 800,000. I got paid like 20 grand. And like, I'm sitting here, like, I just got 20 grand. Like I was making 44,000 a year on the rig, like grinding it out and like being away from home and all kinds of weird work at nights and stuff, like dangerous, like people are dying out there. So like people were dying out there.
Wow,
Nobody died on the rig I was on, but like there was a rig like 30 miles away. They were taking it down, and this crane, like they didn't put it together right. It came down and killed this guy. Yeah. And like they're like, oh yeah, dude died over there. And I seen guys get their hands all mangled up and all kinds of weird stuff out there. And
oil rigs. These oil rigs here, I'm Googling them right now, man.
See, pull up land rig, right? See, that's on water. See, I was in Mississippi. We were on the land, right? So this was like old school, Yeah, exactly. There you go. So like on
Miami, I'm
like a land rig's totally different because like rigs out in the ocean, they have robots that do everything. Like everything's futuristic, and they like have a robot that goes and does the pipe and drills it and does all this crazy stuff. Like we had to do this stuff with like chains and like huge wrenches and stuff. You know what I mean? It was nuts. But yeah, looking back, that was really not a smart idea to go out there. But that's the kind of person I am. I see something and I'm just like, I'm going to take this opportunity, to go try to better myself. I didn't know if I was ever going to get back in real estate ever again. I was just I'm always taking the best opportunity that's right in front of me.
Right. And when you got into real estate, did you have, so you mentioned that you worked for 30 days and you didn't see any results come out of it. Did you ever like hesitate when it came to prospecting? Like what you said, emails, phone calls, mailers, what have you. Did you ever feel like, what, this isn't working, I'm just going to stop? Or did you just continue going, and because maybe the strategy that your friend told you to do, and you were like, okay, well, I'm just going to keep going with this?
Yeah. I mean, I never thought about quitting, at all. I did, I did kind of have a few moments there when I was like a year and a half in that I look back during those 8 months. See, this is something for new agents to listen to, because, closings are happening every single day. And if you're out there talking to people, some of these people you're talking to are doing deals. You're just not experienced enough to understand the lingo and be able to read people the right way to know when to try to close and what to say and how to make it happen. But about a year and a half in, I look back at those 8 months, And I recognized a couple of different moments that I definitely could have closed a deal.
Okay, guys, another incredible podcast in the books. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you got tons of value. Do me a favor, if you haven't already, go to 0to-diamond.com and join my free coaching program, and also subscribe to my YouTube and follow me on Instagram at Ricky Carruth. If you need anything whatsoever or just want to say hi, I answer every single message on Instagram. And tune in tomorrow for another 0 to Diamond podcast. Let's go.